I've seen several people having trouble booting to devices like USB drives or CDs with the new Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, or UEFI. UEFI, pronounced Unify without the N, was designed for modern operating systems like Windows 8 and replaces the basic input-output system, or BIOS. This new interface causes a problem with older legacy operating systems like Windows 7 or Vista that were designed to run on computers with a BIOS. UEFI is technically different than BIOS, but I will use the terms interchangeably because I am used to saying BIOS and the UEFI is a little difficult to say consistently. This video is not on what UEFI is, so I will not go into any more detail on it, but I will include a link in the description for more information. This video will show you the basic steps in order to boot to a legacy device like a USB drive on a modern UEFI system. I will show you the settings using an Asus model X750J. Its BIOS is a little different than most UEFI systems I've dealt with, and a lot of people seem to have issues trying to enable legacy support on this model. First, you need to get to the boot menu. On the X750J, you do that by turning on the laptop and then holding down the escape key. Other common keys to access the boot menu or BIOS are delete, F1, F2, F9, F10, and F12. If you are not sure what your computer uses, try these keys or consult your computer's manual. After turning on and holding down the escape key, the computer gives me my boot options. Depending on your computer, you may go directly into your BIOS. Here I can see the hard drive, but not the USB drive I have inserted. I want to use my arrow keys to select Enter Setup. You will start Setup at the main menu. This typically has basic information about the hardware in your computer and the date and time settings. You will have several other menu options, but we're going to focus on the boot menu. Arrow over to the boot menu and we can have a look at its settings. Normally you would expect to see all devices listed as boot options, but in the UEFI system they are not. For the Asus models, there is a setting called Launch CSM. Most people are not familiar with this, so they overlook this setting. CSM stands for Compatibility Support Module. I wish they would type it out instead of abbreviating it. That would make it a lot easier for users to find. If you try to enable this setting, you will get a warning. It tells you that you cannot use this setting if Secure Boot is enabled. Just click OK and go over to the security menu. You should see the Secure Boot Control setting is enabled. This setting needs to be disabled in order to boot legacy devices on any UEFI system. Select this setting and disable it. After it is disabled, return to the boot menu and make sure CSM is enabled. If your system does not have the CSM option, you should be able to select other boot devices now. After enabling CSM, go to the Save and Exit menu. Choose Save Changes and Exit. It will confirm your choice. Just select Yes and the computer will exit and reboot with the new settings. Once the computer starts to reboot, I hold down my escape key to access the boot menu again. You should use your respective key for your model computer. You will notice that I now have the option to boot to the USB drive and DVD drive. I am going to select the USB disk. The computer should boot to the legacy operating system now. And you can see that the computer is now booting Windows 7 from the USB drive. I hope this video was informative and helpful to you. If you like the video, click the like button. And for more informative videos in the future, subscribe to our channel.